I am, and I will always be, a gravel bike chopper. However, when in Mallorca, anyway, when it comes to choppers, I fit right in this weekend because the place is full of triathletes. Oh, probably helps if I start my watch, doesn't it? I don't know why I put the chest cam on actually. I think this is pretty much the only view you're going to get. Straight road there, straight road back. I do hope this wind resistance I'm feeling right now is a headwind. Not much of one if it is. And not just what I've generated. Oh well, so much for the slow start. All good. All good behind. Still 4 minutes to official sunrise. Pretty dark, I think. It's supposed to be 16 degrees. It probably is. I do have a gilet on at the minute. It's much too big for me. But I have it on. Obviously no gloves, no sleeves. There is a little nip in the air. It's not cold. Sorry, mate. Oh no, that's a headwind. Definitely. In fact, it's greater here than it was at the top, for sure. So that was Playa de Alcudia at the start, and Playa de Muro, heading towards Can Picafort. Oh yeah, that's cold. That's okay. I can live with that. It's not UK cold. It's different. This is nothing. Yeah, nothing behind me. There you go, it's officially sunrise. Still looks blooming dark to me. But of course we're in Europe now, aren't we? So is this officially sunrise according to the Spanish? Europe in general? Who knows? Chance of maybe up to 3 millimeters of rain today. Let's hope that's not this morning, because a raincoat I definitely don't have. I was optimistic with my packing. I didn't even include one. I think Julie did. But that tells you something about how our brains work. Oh, that's warm. Yeah, warming up now. I think when we got close to the water there at the bridge, as we came out of town, things chilled down, but yeah, back to how it was now. Well, according to Komoot, so it must be accurate, obviously, There's 3,000 feet of climbing in this ride. So that's going to be at least 3,600, isn't it? There's nothing behind me, but I don't know this road from here. Well, okay, I know this little bit, and that's it after that. And we are now starting to ramp up. Okay, there's a car a little way back, but I'm pretty much on my own for a minute. Back on the flat. Still some lights back there, but they're not near me. Got an Aldi. First Aldi we've seen actually. A Lidl. Yeah, they're everywhere. Climbing again. Very gentle. Right, headlights are getting closer now. Gonna go? Well done, mate. Okay, all clear. Mercadona. I think everything opens at 9. Which is good, because I don't have any supplies. You know, fueling being my thing, as you know. Ooh-wee. So, yeah, I may need a pit stop on the way back. Again, that's okay. I'm calm about that. So as I get back in time for breakfast, everything's good. Even if I have to crawl on all fours into the dining room, I'm okay. Nothing behind me. Lidl, massive. Caravans in the car park. Sheets at the windows, so I guess they're okay with that here. Interesting to know. who knows, in the future, maybe a van trip. Get on the ferry, I think. Nothing behind me. Yeah, I think the problem with Mallorca is that it's just big enough you can't get to everywhere. Now obviously you can maybe stay in somewhere like Sinu. Oh my god, look at that. Yeah, so somewhere in the centre. Maybe Inca, somewhere like that. And nothing's out of reach really. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for the beach, walking along the promenade near the sea. So for us, staying inland, not really our thing. This is for us a holiday essentially. Vacation, depending on where you are in the world. It's certainly not Christmas. Right, first real hill of the day. I don't know why I got the map page on. One road for crying out loud. You know that thing I say, start slow, finish strong. That's not really happened today, has it? Okay, heading out. No more tree cover. Let's see what happens. Is this wind real or is it me? It's funny, that looks downhill to me. Why, who says different? Legs say different. So, yeah, Chaz reckons I have a huge aerobic base. I don't know what that means actually, but it sounds like the sort of thing that cyclists would brag about. So there it is. There's my humble brag with no real understanding of what I'm saying. Gravel bike chopper status well and truly in play. One thing I do know is today I'm trying to ride at a slightly higher cadence. Because I still use my leg power to protect cardiovascular, because it's what I've always done. I've always been a one-trick pony, leg power. So now I'm trying to convert a little bit. We'll see what happens, bit by bit. If I blow up today, so what? Not really a better place to do it, is there? And honestly, I don't think I will. Chaz also says I'm good riding by feel. I seem to be able to find a place just under, you know. So I'll gradually get slower and slower as the ride goes on, rather than push through and bonk. So let's hope that's true. We'll see. So we're coming up to the Alcudia Ironman 70.3. That'll be in the weekend in a couple of days. So yeah, an awful lot of aero bike hardware around. There's a few in the hotel with us. Yeah, there's a guy on Instagram called Jog on Jack. Talking to him last night. Nothing behind, no. I'm getting better at looking over my left shoulder, by the way. Anyway, yeah, Jog on Jack. But here he is, doing an Ironman. Or, you know, half an Ironman if you like. I think he has done a full one before too. Nothing behind me, no. Ah, this is a little kink in the road. Yeah, I saw that on the map. Well, now I know where it is and what it is. Artà 15. That's where we're heading. Some bum rest. Nothing wrong with bum rest, is there? That's it. I think we can officially call that the top. Obviously that is the rule. Ooh, we're riding into the cloud. Yeah, so fuel has been an issue on this trip. Again, we're on holiday, so I haven't let it worry me too much. Still basing each meal on good protein, proper meat, bit of dairy, and then ride days, carbs. That said, I left before breakfast opened, so this morning it's a banana and a coffee with sugar in. But they have pancakes and honey, things like that, so chuck a couple of eggs in just for some muscle repair. And yeah, of course I have no control over the food. A lot of the sauces are quite creamy. I try and drain stuff off as I take it. You still get all the flavour of the sauces, you just don't have to spoon it up afterwards. So that's been my strategy. Eat what I like, just try not to overdo it on the oily, creamy stuff. It is a holiday, so I'm not avoiding anything. Ice cream, no problem. Yeah, a few cakes here and there, no problem. But still very much grounded in protein to protect muscle mass, and carbs on ride days. Seems to be working actually. I'm sure I put a few pounds on, not worried about that. When I get home, back on the system. You know, 3 plates a day, anchored in whatever's necessary for that day. Here, of course, it's very tempting to go and get a second plate. They positively encourage it. Yesterday, even though we didn't order them, the waiter, he brought us wine and beer and then gave me half a glass top up when he saw I was getting low. Now I can take or leave alcohol, but that was quite nice with dinner. First beer I've had in the 10 days we've been here. So I suppose you could say I'm being a typical British person going out on a ride in the morning, fueled on beer. Foggy. That's better. Now you see, that showed a 0 on the head unit, that bit of road. It definitely was not. That had a gradient. Actually, on the climbing chart at the bottom, it shows it going uphill. It just didn't show as a percentage. Right, down, and then an amber up after this. Right, there are lights in the distance. That's good. Perfect timing. Repsol garage. Make note, good to know. And it looks like the guy's just going in to open it up, so that's good to know. Right, R211. Right. %, or was that 8? I think it's 6.9. Looks like it flattens out here. That sounded big. Whew. Yeah, I know. I'm calling that top. I've got a way to go yet. Okay. Heart rate back down in the 150s. Still going up. Not much. 3, 2.5, 2.6. I'm always surprised when I do the stats after how it doesn't match up with what's on the screen. I get the feeling the software smooths it out, gets rid of any spikes. Whew. I think we're going up there. Let's not talk about that right now. One thing, yeah, talking to triathletes, yeah, it's all right, I'll be able to talk in a minute. Heart rate is coming down, back in the 140s now. but we are still going up. It's getting warmer, for sure. Well, according to the elevation chart, we're going up. My legs say we're going up. Looks flat. It's like riding around Dorset, isn't it? When you've been riding up long enough, everything looks flat. Woo! Come on, nearly there. Gradient of 1 now. Yeah, so 3,000 feet in this ride. So far, 550. When we get to Artà, that's going to increase dramatically. Well, for the first time on this trip, I am sweating. Come on. This is definitely into the wind here. Obviously I'm following the line of the bay gradually. Of course the good news is all this 2% up is going to be 2% down on the way back. I think I'm going to have to get rid of this gilet. There's some red ahead. That seems like the ideal opportunity. Of course, not just a simple case taking it off. I'll have to remove the camera, fold it up, put the camera back on. So it will be a meaningful stop. .7, 3%, comes back down, 2.3, 2.1, still at 1%, even though it looks like we've gone downwards. Wind is getting stronger. I haven't seen our destination yet. I'm hoping at some point we will see it. Up on the ridge line there, or a ridge line. Right, this looks like an opportune moment. We're about to hit orange, or amber, and then red. So if there's a space the other end of this barrier, I shall pull off and get rid of this gilet. I feel like it's not helping right now. I am streaming. Okay. Is that a bit sheepish getting off the bike? Yeah, bloody right. If there's one thing I've learnt from triathletes, there's nothing worse than getting off the bike after a flat pedally ride. Okay, and we are back. Yeah, I know there's that thing about never stop at the bottom of a hill, but yeah, it's a one-off. Of course, stopping has made me sweat more. I understand cyclists like these. Not sure I do. Yeah, I shouldn't have stopped. Golden rule, isn't it? Never stop at the bottom of a climb. Well, 7%. 6.8, 6.7. We haven't got to the red bit yet. But this is okay. Every foot climbed here is one less to the top. I guess Julie right now would be saying, "God, this is steep, and we haven't even got to the top yet." I can only deal with what's in front of me right now. I can make plans, I can think ahead. Do I need to conserve energy? But I can only deal with what's in front of me right now. And that's the way it works. Okay. Ooh. Much better. I'm starting to dry up now. So, yeah, 50-50 on the gilet thing. Maybe I should have stopped at the top. But either way, I did what I did, and here we are. Ooh. Back at 1%, 2%. just looking at the cloud actually, it might be that when we do get to the top, we might not be able to see anything. A lot of the tops around here are actually in the cloud. We'll see. Right, heart rate back under control. 136. Yeah, ride day tomorrow. I'm thinking about Sacalobra. The roads are closed for the triathlon on Saturday. Whoa, look at that. Stop, thank you. Wow. Yeah, so Saturday is definitely out of the question. So no rest day for me if we do go tomorrow. Okay, what we got? I think it's just straight on. Nothing behind me. I definitely can't go that way. Is it this one? It is. It's this one. There we go. So San Salvador on our right. Got the Ermita de Betlem this way apparently. So let's do that. Right, glasses back on. A bit too much going down for my liking here. That can only mean one thing. Yeah. Well, I've found something that's akin to a Dorset road, but it's still somehow better. Ooh-wee. Is this where it starts? Must be. There's a warning sign for cyclists. Look out for bikes. So I'm guessing this is where things start to ramp up a bit. Currently got amber showing on the climbing graph. My left knee has started to ache a little bit. If it doesn't stop on its own, I will just decide it doesn't hurt in a minute. Oh, actually it has stopped. It's gone away all on its own. It's almost like the brain said, just checking. Yeah, just making sure things are still connected, just in case something real happens. Okay. Look at this. Amazing. That's a torrent down there. I'm guessing that gets a lot of water through there when it rains, when it really rains. I don't think it's had any in a while. What am I on? Nice little roads, aren't they, these? This is definitely the best time to do it. Yeah, feels just like home. Quieten things down a bit. Put it in a little ring, straighten up the chain line a bit. Tourists go home. We always do. Well, most of us. Come on, up we go. Still chuck in a bit of leg power every now and then. I never forget it's there. Even if I'm trying not to use it. Oh, yeah. Drive side cleat, still a bit loose. Did I remember to put new cleats on? No, of course not. I could take the cleats off my other shoes actually because they fit perfectly. But hey. I've probably got a spare set in my toolkit. It's the sort of thing I'd have chucked in there. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, nothing behind me. There's a bit of water down there. Okay, here we go. Lots of red. So that would indicate it's up at the 7-8% region. And here are the switchbacks. Right. Glasses can come off. No need for those. Yeah, can't have them there rattling though, can we? Not right next to the microphone. pro move, I've tucked them in the back of my neck. Not sure I like that. Never mind. Swallow there. I'll get used to it. Look at that. I'll show you the view in a minute. This is nice, actually. I'm starting to win ChatGPT or Chaz over. Yeah, he's given up telling me off all the time now. I think he's learnt, as AI is supposed to do, that he gets what he gets. Tell me about what you give, what I give him. Don't tell me about, this isn't that. Because I always put, this was an easy ride today. He says, it might have felt it, but it bloody well wasn't. Yeah, well, he stopped doing that now. I won't be saying that about today. Today was not supposed to be easy. Today was supposed to be a reset. I love my wife very much. I enjoy riding with her. But every now and then, just need to go out and do what I feel at the time. Sometimes it's smashing it. Sometimes, it's just consistent pedaling up a hill. Also takes away the worry, like when I went wrong back there. Did she follow me? Going through junctions, I have to think for the next 25 yards behind me. So rather than go through, because I know I can, I have to understand it may not be clear for Julie if she's behind me. So rides like today relieve the stress. Now, what I am going to say is Julie is very capable. If she knows it's not clear to go, she won't go. So that relief is also there. But sometimes she's also a bit hot-headed. Bloody hell, look at that. I will show you the view in a minute. Yeah, sometimes she can be a bit hot-headed in traffic and she'll just bloody go. Like, I'm on a bike, you can wait for me. So, it's never terrible, it's never really stressful, ever. There's just an underlying feeling responsible for a second person that you have no real control other than picking routes and gaps in traffic, but I have no real control over what she physically does. Like I say, that is relieved somewhat because she is very capable. She always errs on the side of caution when she thinks, a situation might be developing. He definitely overreads because Of course, she feels a bit vulnerable from time to time. I guess we all do on the bike. I always assume that people are going to do the right thing whilst looking for, you know, an escape route if I need one, but knowing that 99% of the time I won't need it. Julie will slam the anchors on regularly because she just assumes the worst thing is going to happen. Again, a little bit of a difference in our mindsets. Nothing wrong with that. Look at this. This is amazing. Tiny little switchbacks. It's almost like a model village. Just think, cars come up here and pass each other. Wow. I tell you, if you ever come to Mallorca and want to hire a car, don't hire a big flash one because you want everybody at the hotel to think you're something. Get the tiniest one you can get, because that's the one that will get you in all the places. Yeah. There's a lot of Mustangs and, you know, SUVs and that driving around. Can you imagine trying to get an SUV or a Mustang up here? Yeah. Fiat Panda. Yeah, that would be perfect. It is, at the end of the day, a tool for the job. And in my opinion, it would be the right tool for the job. Does it beat cycling? Well, for some of you, of course it does. You know, cars are the primary transport. I guess it is for us as well. But around town, at home, yeah, walking, bike, they're always first choices. Car, depending on how far it is, what we need to carry. What are we doing? Are we doing several jobs in one? You know, we always try and make it so we do multiple jobs in one when we use the car. Make it worthwhile, as it were. And for everything else, we can walk or cycle. Everything we need, actually, at home is very close. So for most things, we don't need a car, which is why we tend to stack jobs up if we do need the car. Just nip into the shops to buy, you know, 3 or 4 days worth of food for the two of us. Yeah, pointless taking the car. But if we need to go to the tip, visit Julie's parents, we can stack all 3 of those jobs up. Makes more sense. Maybe we'll get a bigger shop because we have the car with us. I think since doing this cooking malarkey on a daily basis, I've become very much more aware of what we waste. So yeah, we don't do big shops anymore. And everything we buy gets consumed, pretty much. Yeah, I'm getting quite good at it now, actually. It's not a challenge. It's not some sort of goal. It's more a case of it's naturally happening. Getting a feel for what we use, what the meals will be for the next 2 or 3 days, how much we need to cover those. Yeah. Right, flattens out here a bit. Looking at the graph, we might even have a little bit of a downhill. Walkers, always walkers. Yeah, walking in Mallorca is huge. I think it's like cycling, a bit more popular in the off seasons, because of course there are actually pathways through, but a lot of the walking is on these roads. Col de Pescadores, is that what that said? I'm looking at the screen here and it is just a sea of black where all the switchbacks are right tight. So we must be nearly there. That said, we are going down slightly to go back up. Oh yes, look at that. I promise I will show you the views, probably on the way down. Of course the walkers that were ahead can just go straight on and up. I do need to follow the road. I'm going a long way down. I mean, according to the route, this is an out and back, so maybe there is just a little bit of down and then back up again. Oh, could you imagine trying to do this with hundreds of cyclists coming up? This is narrow. We are going all the way down. Bumpy bits, miss the bumpy bits. And here we are. Yes, they said there was a drinks van there, but no cafe. There we go. I'm not a particularly religious person, but I feel even in these shoes I should try to be at least quiet. Even though I'm not really disturbing anybody, I'm here on my own. Should I remove my helmet? I mean, if I was wearing a hat, I would definitely remove that. I don't know what the etiquette is in this type of situation. Is this it? This is it? Oh wow. I expected more. Well, I say more, I'm not disappointed I'm here. I expected to have climbed further. Yeah. There you go, look at that. Well, even in cleats we got to, haven't we? Fortunately, I am using mountain bike SPDs. Yeah, so these shoes are actually mountain bike SPDs on the bottom, so I do have some grip and I can walk in them kind of normally. I suppose you'd call them cyclocross shoes. They're not mountain bike shoes, that's for sure. But they are definitely not road shoes. Yep. What a bike that is. Old man endurance bike. But amazing all the same. Right, Alcudia 30. Of course, the plus side to that is that is 30 kilometres, so about 20 miles, just under 20 miles. We can do that, can't we? Even on some Haribo and sugary water, we can do 20 miles, can't we? Especially if we know that proper breakfast is waiting for us. We can draw energy from the breakfast that awaits us. Of course, this road is going to be pretty busy now. Yeah, coaches, lorries. Hopefully, mostly going that way from the hotels to San Salvador. And places like that people might want to visit. Now, if memory serves me right, there was quite a lot of downhill for us to enjoy in this direction, wasn't there? Yes, it might be my road bike. but it has a bell. Again, not a proper roadie, just somebody who rides on the road sometimes. I must admit, I'm feeling the difference in the fueling today. I might also have eaten a little bit too much last night, which might have something to do with it. 2% grade at the minute. Yes, when we went up Sabataya, of course, full on holiday mode, hadn't really kicked in. We'd had a bug brought from home, manifested for me as I got off the plane, luckily, not on the plane. Was able to get to the toilet in the airport, not a problem. Later that night, in the hotel, yeah, that sorted it. So I was still a little bit empty on the ride up to the lighthouse. We didn't record that one. Very busy. I don't think we'll ever ride up to the lighthouse again in the daytime. As fantastic as it is, that was not fun. I mean, it was fun, great to do it, fantastic views, there always is, beautiful road, but I think in future we will either do it if the road's closed, which it is from the middle of June I believe, or maybe even middle of May now. I think they've moved it. Or, and something I'd like to do before we leave this time, I wouldn't mind a sunset ride out to the lighthouse. Yeah, we don't necessarily need the cafe and what have you to be open. I mean, it's so close to town that, you know, facilities are available, let's say, without having to go too far. I don't know what time the cafe shuts actually, I could do a little bit of research, but I think head out there about 4 o'clock. Everybody's heading home to the restaurants, to the dining rooms in the hotels. Yeah, I'd be interested to know if that is a better option, because it's such a lovely ride. It would be nice to find a time of day when it can be epic still. We did do that once actually, because of course we stayed in Palma, what was it, last year, year before, November. We got the bus, didn't we, up to Porto Pollença, hired some e-bikes and shot out there late in the afternoon. Yeah, that wasn't a problem. It was nice, different time of year, November. We expected it to be quiet, really just after the season had finished. We got out there and back by 6 o'clock to get them back, get the bikes back. I don't know what we'd done if we hadn't. We couldn't take them all the way to the Palmer and then bring them back again the next day, could we? That said, the guys there were pretty cool about it. We did make it back in plenty of time. It wasn't an issue, but yeah, that was Bike Island in Port au Prince. Right, that's an amber bit done. Run out of gears. Well, I saw 45 on the head unit. Strava will probably smooth that out to like 43, 42. We'll see. Or maybe we got a GPS glitch and it'll say I did 110. That is the problem, isn't it? Retail electronics. Yeah, how reliable actually is it? We just accept it, don't we, and move on. The same as I do with my scales. I was saying earlier about whether it actually measures my whole sort of body or just goes up one leg and down the other. And the reason I say that is because I've lost nearly, or had just before we left, 38 kilograms. And according to my scale, that is all bar 1.5 kilograms fat. So according to my scale, it's saying I've lost only 1.5 kilograms of muscle mass. And that's the whole point of the protein-based sort of diet, to protect muscle mass. Very important as you get older. I've always known that. And that's another reason why I'm doing some shoulder work, shoulder, neck and sort of upper body work with weights. Nothing dramatic. You know, this isn't a pumping iron, no pain, no gain situation. This is stretching, light weights, just working that area. I've always had a high percentage of muscle because of, well, you know, to be brutally honest, when I was young I was built like a brick shithouse, and yeah, I put a lot of weight on, the fat covered it up. I've always been strong, I've always done lifting work, manual work right up until my mid-40s. In my mid-40s I did sort of more office work when I started the business. Still carrying cameras, tripods, things like that. Then I went back to manual work, just felt more natural at the garage there as I was winding the business down and retiring. Found that I still had it, I hadn't lost anything. I could still lift things, engines, gearboxes. The card keeps failing, not failing, I keep filling up, so there must be a file on there. Maybe, this is Julie's camera this morning, because it was the one that was ready. And there must be a long video file on there, maybe she left it running. Because I've deleted the bits that I've already captured, but it's not giving me much space. Anyway, we've essentially got an hour from here, so hopefully at 29.7 miles an hour that'll be enough. Yeah, the bell, of course, is on the right-hand side of my bars in the bar end. So it picks up grass from the side of the road every now and then. Yeah, so anyway, going back to what I was saying, I found I was still quite strong. No real aches and pains to speak of. So yeah, I was very pleased with that. I'm just conscious that while I haven't been working, I've been doing a lot of cycling, which doesn't really give you much in the upper body, does it? So it is possible that even though the scale is telling me I've only lost 1.5 kilograms of muscle mass, it could always, all of that could be from the shoulder and neck department. Because one thing I have noticed in recent times, I have mentioned it a couple of times, is that I do feel cold across my shoulders, which I never used to feel. So it is possible that that is part of it. Now what I certainly don't want to be is a muscle Mary with no neck and great big shoulders. But Chaz assures me that if you do light weights and stretching, that it will actually repair what's there and fill in the gaps before you start to bulk out. So as long as I don't go mad, I should stay pretty much as I am, but just keep everything strong in that department and repair what's there. Overthinking it? Always. I don't have a problem with overthinking, because I can always come back from overthinking and pick out the bits that matter. I think if you're an overthinker, that can't let some of it go once you have thought it through, that's a problem. But that's not me. Hooey. Sun's coming out, it's getting hot. Does mean the air is getting warmer and therefore thinner. So the wind that is whizzing around me at the minute, it's not really having too much effect, which is perfect. All right, almost at the top, long downhill from here. Another change since losing weight is that the camera sits a lot further down. There's no bulge for it to sit on top of. So when I get in the drops, I actually hit it with my legs. So that isn't something I've worked out yet. I mean, it's just an adjustment, I'm sure. We need to get new chest mounts. These are starting to get a bit weak. They're losing their stretch. They're I suppose, a disposable item if you use them as regularly as we do. Not a lot you can do to tighten them up once they've gone beyond their maximum adjustment. Yeah, we could unstitch them and shorten them on the sewing machine. It wouldn't add to the strength of the stretch, would it? Might hold them a bit tighter for a bit longer, but I'm afraid for this one, yeah, we'll just get new ones, and these can go in the recycling. Must be a local cyclist, he's got a rain jacket on. Come on, over the top and down. Right, is this the kink in the road? I think it is. Nothing behind me. Well, nothing that can't wait anyway. No, we're good. Yeah, a bit of orange, amber. Yeah, I'm wearing my new top today. Pearlizumi. Heard of them? I don't know anything about them. I don't know if that's pretentious or not. They got a small logo on them. The red to maroon fade into my black shorts. Apparently it's a professional fit. I don't know what that means. I know what it means to me. It means I really am trussed up like a sausage. However, this was the size she had in the colour that I wanted. I did think about a Mallorca cycling shirt, but honestly, I'd probably only wear it here. This one's pretty nondescript. More suits the colour of my bike than most of the Mallorca tops. It is a large. That's the first time I've fitted into anything that was a large in a very long time. And I would suggest, actually, do I actually fit in it, or is it just a very good zip? I am streaming, sweat pouring down my glasses. It's getting hot. I do have a cap on. It is failing to hold back the tide, as it were. doing all right, aren't we? We've got a sort of crosswind. It's coming about there. But as we go round, hopefully we'll get into the trees and that won't be such a big deal. I'm going to give Commute the benefit of the doubt this time. We've done 3,000 feet. I don't think there's anything meaningful between here and Alcudia. What have we got behind? No car. Rescue mission. Oh dear. Plasterboard, we're all right. New plasterboard, so no screws in it. Unless, of course, that's what the TT bike hit. But if he did, he'd be parked here, wouldn't he? Okay, starting to see the first signs of civilization. Sorry mate, I knew you were there. That's why I didn't gun it. is going to be a slow ride in, isn't it? Yeah, once we get through here, things will open up again. Let's go! Right, that's that. We should get a clear run now. A few little roundabouts. We will be hand flat all the way now. And definitely into the wind. We've come around, so what was here is now here. But let's be honest, breakfast. Heart rate 157. No need to push it any harder, I don't think. 24 mile an hour. That's me being just under capacity. I recognise this feeling. What we got? Throws me sometimes. They're so used to stopping. I'm timing it. I'm timing it to go through behind them. They're letting me go. It's just a whole other attitude out here. Again, I timed it to go behind him. He actually waited for me to overtake. Curb. Right, Playa de Muro. Look at this lot. Oh well, here we are. Heart rate 156, heart rate, not heart right. Nearly there. No. Go on. Yeah, when in Rome. And all that. We got behind. Nothing. Green. Right, this is Alcudia now, I believe. I think. I think we just went past the turn for the Bellevue. Just in case it was a British person who looked the wrong way. Oh no, I saw the yellow. Pony trekking. I just saw a yellow, yeah, bumper. Nothing behind me now. Well, there is, but I say everybody here drives at 30k, 20 miles an hour. Well, that's it now. That is just processional. So let's call it there, shall we? Bit of a tame end to the ride, but that's okay. Right, I can see the hotel now. Anybody at the crossing? No. As long as the lorry gets past the crossing, I'm good. She's not reached the middle yet. Not in play. And here we are, done. So what have we got? An average of 17. It's all right, isn't it, with 3,000 feet of climbing? Maximum watts of 745. Ooh, 2,700 calories. Well, kilojoules, but that'll be calories, it's just the same. Or very close to. There you go, a bit of exploring. What was our maximum? Yes, 44.9 it's put it up as maximum speed. There you go. And it is 9:45. We did all right, didn't we? All right, if you've made it this far into the video, yeah, thank you for joining me. A little bit frantic at the end there, wasn't it? But that's okay, I don't mind that. Stick it in the comments. There's bound to be people out there tutting in true British fashion. But yeah, I think that was good fun. Thank you for joining me. Come and join me on the next one.